What up, YouTube? It's Frisky Dingo getting back with you guys with another reaction slash review video. Always remember to like, subscribe, and leave a comment on this video because we are on a 100K sub grind. That being said, today's video is just a reaction to Sony purchasing everyone's favorite, not most recently favorite developer, Bungie. Going through the internet, a lot of people have been saying that, this is something that Sony is doing in face of Microsoft basically purchasing Activision slash Blizzard. I have the same exact rhetoric. Honestly, with the Activision slash Blizzard purchase, I did not purposefully believe that Microsoft is doing something revolutionary or moving the industry forward. All they are doing is trying to build a consistent, congruent user base for their Game Pass. As everyone knows, as they continue to basically put pressure on their Game Pass, it will create a longevity in which will allow them to not have to rely on developing games. If they have one system that allows one user to play a massive collection of games through all titles, through all platforms, makes it more advantageous for that person to go and use that more amount of times than they would individually purchasing a game and then playing it when they can play it, and then not having accessibility or money to purchase a new game. Where with Game Pass, you have a subscription, and then ultimately your purchase of that game is going to be the Game Pass itself. For example, Forza, Gears of War 5, Halo, etc., all available on Game Pass first day. And this is a consistent trend. Even when and I could give you a perfect example. When myself, I tried to figure out a way to purchase the original copy of Gears of War, the original Ultimate Edition, I cannot buy it unless I purchase Game Pass. So that gives you an understanding of what Game Pass really is about in the sense of the stratosphere in the gaming industry. And I really have no problems with that. Do I think that PlayStation is trying to ultimately compete with Game Pass? No, I do not. That's not something that, unfortunately, I don't think that's something that they will end up having advantageous reasoning behind. Game Pass in itself is just really used to, like I said, get more users on the system and get more people on the Xbox not having to wait to purchase a game. They could get the Game Pass directly and then move straight forward into playing the game and then putting as much hours they want into it. With Sony, I think that them purchasing Bungie really has nothing to do but them also putting their foot in the door to purchase other entities so that they could continue to make and develop projects. I don't really think that this had anything to do with what Microsoft is doing. Like I said, if Microsoft was trying to redevelop a new dev team to make games, I would say that then. But as from what I've seen with the Halo Infinite, I don't think so. Halo Infinite still hasn't reclaimed the money that it was made to use to produce it. So just looking at that instance, I don't see Microsoft going out their way to waste another $150 million just to produce a game that's coming out half made. Obviously, as we know, the point of purchasing these entities is that so that they have these titles accessible to their Game Pass and or whatever system they're using to basically create user input. So if it's just someone going on the Xbox, downloading Overwatch and then playing it for a few minutes, it's more advantageous for them to do that than having to compete with Blizzard while their game is on their system. I don't think that Xbox wants that. Ultimately, they want to have a system that can compete but also have users on it. So yeah, I think that this is just nothing different. Sony purchasing Bethesda, Sony purchasing Bungie is them really just ramping up. If you look at the sales for Destiny was sold the most on PlayStation 4, so it makes sense overall that they will purchase this and basically want to try to develop a game with Bungie and or a unique environment not environment, atmosphere with Bungie, creating a ecosystem or a bubble, if you will. Seems like something they would do. And Bungie has been trying to move forward from Destiny, so that is a possibility. So, you know, like I said, overall, I think it is very interesting what Sony is doing. I do see them purchasing a couple more studios in the near future, but Xbox doing what they did is not really putting a foot in the console wars. To me, honestly, the console wars ended generations ago. I believe the real true last console war was the 360 versus the PlayStation 3. And then after that, obviously the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. And even still so, the jump between those two systems weren't necessarily big, but as we understand, overall PlayStation 3 won that war. Because Xbox, being as strong as it was with the 360 coming out, it still failed in longevity. The basic games that would have players come back were always Halo 3, Halo Reach, and Gears of War. Of course, the sports savants were playing Madden and playing 2K. But that being said, PlayStation still had a better unique amount of exclusives. You know, I could go into all the exclusives. Don't feel like doing it. But that being said, they still shared a platform allowing those exclusives to be on Xbox. So realistically, Xbox has always benefited from PlayStation being open with certain exclusives. And this has happened a lot of times with games. They develop it, and then the company's like, oh, we'll make it exclusive, and then PlayStation says, no, we'll make it for everyone. So it's nothing new. And I think it's pretty interesting. Like I said before, their foot in the market cap is pretty big with Microsoft. PlayStation, necessarily not the same, because their market capitalization and their financial interest is dedicated in Japan. So it's easier for them to move the way they do it, and it's easier for Microsoft to move the way they do. So hopefully if we get any more news, or of course if we get any more updates about what's going on in the console wars, I'll always update you. But until then, I'll see you guys in the next one.